12 under square root upon 9 plus 108 under square root, then all under square root. We have to simplify it. Let's try. Now 12 we can write it as 4 times 3 under square root upon 9 plus 108 as 6 times 6 times 3 under square root, then all under square root. Now when a times b is under square root, we can write it as square root of a times square root of b. So here we can write square root of 4 times square root of 3 upon 9 plus square root of 6 square times square root of 3 under square root. So this is 2 times square root of 3 upon 9 plus, we remove the square root with the square, so it is 6 times square root of 3 under square root. Now to further simplify, we will have to rationalize the denominator. To rationalize the denominator, we have to multiply and divide it by the conjugate of the denominator. Conjugate of x plus y is x minus y. So conjugate of here 9 plus 6 times square root of 3 will be 9 minus 6 times square root of 3. Or here we can also write it as 2 times square root of 3 upon 6 times square root of 3 plus 9. Because both are positive, so no change in the question. Now conjugate of 6 plus square root of 3, conjugate of 6 times square root of 3 plus 9 will be 6 times square root of 3 minus 9. So let's rationalize it. We multiply and divide by the same number, because if you multiply and divide by the same number, that number gets cancelled. It is like multiplying by 1 and then nothing changes. So we multiply and divide by 6 times square root of 3 minus 9 upon 6 times square root of 3 minus 9. Then all under square root. 2 times square root of 3, then times 6 times square root of 3 minus 9 upon, this is in the form of a plus b times a minus b, and this is equal to differences of square. We can write a square minus b square. So here we can write 6 times square root of 3 square minus 9 square under square root. 2 times square root of 3 times 6 times square root of 3 equals to 12 times square root of 3 square minus 18 times square root of 3. 9 times 2 is 18. Then upon, this is 6 square times square root of 3 square. So 36 times square root of 3 square. We can remove the square root with this square. So it is 36 times 3 minus 9 square is 81 under square root. Here also remove the square root with this square. So it is 36 minus 18 times square root of 3 upon 36 times 3 is 108 minus 81. Then all under square root. Here we can take, or 36 minus 18 times square root of 3 upon 108 minus 81 is 27. Then all under square root. Now let's take 3 common here. So 3 parenthesis 12 minus 6 times square root of 3 upon 27 under square root. Now 3 times 9 is 27. So this is 12 minus 6 times square root of 3 upon 9 under square root. We can also write it as 12 minus 6 times square root of 3 under square root upon 9 under square root. 9 under square root, it is equal to 3. So we can write 1 upon 3, then times 12 minus 6 times square root of 3, or 1 upon 3, then 12. Now to further simplify it, we need to remove this square root. If we can write this term in terms of a plus minus b whole square, then this whole square can remove the square root. So 1 upon 3, then times 12, we can write 9 plus 3 minus 6, we can write 2 times 3, then times square root of 3 under square root, or 1 upon 3, 9 plus 3 minus 2. 3 here we can write square root of 3 square, then times square root of 3, because a under square root, if we want to remove the square root, we square it. So it is equal to a, square root gets removed with the a. So a can be written as square root of a square, or 1 upon 3, 9 we can write it as similarly. So similarly we can write 9 as square root of 9 square plus 3 as square root of 3 square minus 2, and here we can write 3 times 3 under square root, or 9 times 3 under square root, or square root of 9 times square root of 3. Now if a is equal to square root of 9 and b is equal to square root of 3, then it is in the form of a square plus b square minus 2ab. So this algebraic expression is equal to a minus b whole square. So we can write it as 1 upon 3, then square root of 9 minus square root of 3 whole square under square root. Now we can remove the square root with this square. So it is 1 upon 3 times square root of 9 minus square root of 3 upon 3, or 1 upon 3, square root of 9 is 3. So 3 times 1 is 3 minus square root of 3 upon 3. So it is 1 minus square root of 3 upon 3. This is our answer. How did you solve it? Let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching.